Hey, it's so good to see you today on Daily Hope. We're continuing our study of revivals in America, and let's start to blend that in with gratitude, thanksgiving, as we're in this Thanksgiving week. A key verse early in our study was from Psalm 33, verse 12. It says, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord." Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. And then it talks about an inheritance. Now, as we give thanks to God this week, I think it's appropriate that we thank Him for these previous great awakenings that have so shaped the moral and cultural fabric of the United States, resulting in more prosperity, more freedom, just a better place to live all around. You know what? I think one of the other inheritances, the blessings from those early Christian founders in our nation was, we looked yesterday at the Third Great Awakening. It occurred it really started a little before the Civil War, but then it continued after the Civil War, all the way up into the 1910s. So when World War II rolls around in the late 1930s, the young people who go to fight in World War II, their parents had been raised during the Third Great Awakening. And so a lot of America, in fact, if you were to look at a Gallup poll of Americans in the 1940s, it was about 98% who identified as Christian. And the question was pretty much just, are you Catholic or are you Protestant? The other 2 or 3%, depending on the poll, identified as Jewish. And so when people talked about religion at that time, it was Judeo-Christian, the Judeo-Christian ethic, which is very united because obviously the Christian Old Testament, which is most of the Bible, is the Jewish Bible, and so they overlap a lot. So when people say religion back from about the 1950s to earlier, that's what they meant, Jewish or Christian in America. I say that because the generation that fought in World War II, those soldiers who flew to Europe and the Pacific, as well as all the women and men working in the factories and working here in the United States, rationing food, etc., the wartime effort, everyone was involved. These were Christian people. I don't mean that they were perfect. I don't mean that there wasn't racism or other problems. I know all that stuff was still there. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. But here's the reality. And some people would disagree with me nowadays, but I'm just going to make this statement. I believe it's historically accurate. Fascism, Nazi Germany, and Imperial Japan were set to overtake the world and Italy with the axis of evil. They were literally set on enslaving the world. And we know from Nazi Germany there would have been intense racism against the Jewish people. And the United States, literally, its wartime effort delivered the world. The end of World War II, the good guys would not have won without the United States. And so for that reason, that generation who fought in World War II and made so many sacrifices, to this day, they're called, quote, the greatest generation. In fact, we've got baby boomers and others who use Daily Hope that it was your parents. And for many of us, our grandparents. And for those of you who are younger, your great-grandparents. But the bottom line is this. You talk about that psalm, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, their kids will have an inheritance. The blessing that God put on that generation delivered the entire world from fascism, from slavery. It's just incredible what God has done. So, okay, tomorrow we'll get into the Fourth Great Awakening. So much to be thankful for. I'll see you then.